Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Legends Roadwork. I think this is number 4. Is that right? Am I right?
Yeah, you're correct. We
Yeah.
are 4 deep.
We are 4 deep into
Or
Legends
not.
Roadwork. After some big shit, there's shit to talk about today. We're not just going back and naming units. Now there's some shit going on. So
Yeah, now you've entered the me stage
yeah,
of the big boy scale where
yeah,
you're
it's getting
relevant to
raw
what's come
now.
out.
So
Yes.
for those of you who somehow don't know, there's not a single person who doesn't know this, but a step up banner has dropped with Lord Slug and Perfect
Yeah,
Cell on it.
Slugwatch.
Slugwatch triumphs once again, and
Yes.
Perfect
The only
Cell.
person that was hyped for Lord Slug was me.
Well, it turns out he's pretty fucking good. So, and then
Oh
there is
yeah.
a new Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan with the father-son Kamehameha, but he is ticket locked, and he has a new mechanic that's called a legendary finish, where if you kill the enemy
Mm.
with him, like you win the whole round with him, not just killing a character, it has to be the last character, he does like an extra animation.
All right.
People were pretty pissed about that.
And this is the fact that there is now a legendary finish is that he was on the ticket banner.
That he was ticket exclusive.
No, that part, yeah, people were not. I'm
Yeah.
still kind of not happy about it, but
So
it
there
is what
are
it is.
some positives that we'll talk about it when we get to him. But of course, for
Mm-hmm.
the big boy scale, now that we are actually news valid, we're gonna do the 3 new guys. They're gonna be our big boys. So first up,
Sweet.
Super Namekian Lord Slug. All right, let's see. What is his kit? His main ability draws a special arts card, restores his own ki by 30, and gives 40% to strike damage inflicted for 20 seconds. Pretty good.
All
Unique
right.
ability. Strike damage inflicted increases based on the remaining health when he enters the battlefield. If he has over half life, he gets 30%. If he has under half life, he gets 50%. Okay. And then he gets 25 seconds to his strike damage inflicted once 30 timer counts elapse from the battle start. So once 30 seconds go by, he gets a permanent 25% strike damage buff.
Mm-hmm.
His super attack reduces enemy ki by 40 on hit with a 40% chance to paralyze. Good God. Okay, and then his green card inflicts
Yes.
the enemy with the attribute downgrade plus 15% to strike damage received for 15 seconds on hit, 30% chance to take your opponent's Dragon Balls and add them to your own. It doesn't say how many. Oh my God.
Did you not know about that second part?
Uh, it says effects will change according to how many Dragon Balls they have. One or more, take one, gain one. So you get 2?
None equal no effect.
That's Jesus Christ. That's really good. That's really good. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
God damn. And then his Z ability at 5 stars is 26% to regeneration, strike attack, and blast attack. He's really good, guys. He's really good.
Yeah, he's really built solid
Yeah,
for
so
what is
to a good
essentially Lord
comparison
Slug.
for his green card is it's the same as the green Saiyan Saga Vegeta, but in reverse. Instead of blowing them away, it grabs them from far away and pulls them in. And then you get a combo off of it.
Mm. I see. I didn't think that there were other people who had this type of stealing Dragon Balls effect.
Well, Vegeta doesn't have the Dragon Ball Steel.
Okay, he doesn't have that part, but he
No,
has the
but he
first part.
starts a combo with the green card, and it does a strike damage debuff on the enemy. Those 2 parts are the same, but he
Okay.
does not steal Dragon Balls. The only other character that steals Dragon Balls is Demon King Piccolo.
Yeah, and there's a very good reason for that. The funny thing is that once this unit was released and I saw that he could steal Dragon Balls, my dream team was finally realized, which is the team of I'm gonna farm Rising Rush and then I'm gonna deny you your Rising Rush at the same time, which is it's Lord Slug, it's Demon King Piccolo, and then it's Bulma. So now you have a team that is Bulma. For one instance, literally all she does is farm Dragon Balls. And then if you don't need the farm Dragon Balls, well, you can just steal them with Demon King Piccolo or Lord Slug. So you can, in essence, have you can have like 2 Rising Rushes before the enemy even has a chance to have one.
That
Of course,
sounds
it is.
awful to fight against.
Yeah, that's why I said it doesn't win through pure force. It wins because you don't want to fight them, so you
It
just kind
wins
of give
because you
up.
hate your life. That's a good strategy.
Yeah, it's again the when it's working, so it's perfect to go against other people because it will always go like, "Oh man, I can't believe I lost my Dragon Ball at a 30% chance, and now I'm gonna get Rising Rushed, and this fucking sucks."
It's an attack on enemy morale.
Exactly, because who? I don't think anything hurts the morale more than a Rising Rush.
Yeah, Rising Rush really takes the wind out of your sails. I hate it. Every time I get hit by
Yeah.
a Rising Rush, I just feel like I just am a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and every time I waste the Rising Rush or miss with the Rising Rush, it feels worse. So imagine fighting a team that's literally built around one, gaining nothing but Rising Rushes, and two, stealing your Rising Rush.
Ah, it sounds terrible.
But yeah, the Lord Slug, I think Lord Slug is pretty well built, and then he's also the least sexy of the three new people because he is Lord Slug.
Yeah, that's sort of where
Uh,
the disinterest for him comes in because he's Lord Slug.
he is Lord Slug. Like even his animation, which is card art, is really funny because all he does is get slightly bigger.
Oh, that's right, because he gets big in his movie.
Yeah, that's like the one thing they were like, okay, we're gonna have some thought put into Cell and Gohan. Lord Slug just kind of gets big, and also I cannot deny the fact that the giant red Lord Slug in the background of his art is fucking hilarious to look at because it's just Lord Slug going ah in the background. But
So
yeah, I
what
think
do you think?
I think he's a solid adding for regeneration. Like that's the one thing that I feel like is going to be like regeneration got recent times has gotten a crazy buff. The only thing I would say is that chances are since he's blue, I don't know if you'd run two blues and you would run Evil Boo, but in a weird twist of fate, Evil Boo is harder to get than Lord Slug.
Yeah, a lot harder to get than Lord Slug.
Yeah. And so also I think if you're going to be going for the Gohan, you're going to get his Z ability pretty easy and having more strike and blast like blast attack maybe not so great, but strike attack pretty good for regeneration. So I'd say hmm, overall I'd say for like a 4 out of 5. This is a perfectly good representation for again, Lord Slug, a guy no one really talks about except for the fact that False Super Saiyan came from his movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 also. He's really good. I mean, that's all there really is to it. He's really, really good. He's
Yeah,
weirdly
and I
good.
think
Like I don't understand why they Legends does this weird thing where they release a banner and I'm like, oh, that all makes sense. And then they put one unit on it that doesn't make any sense at all. And Lord Slug is that unit for this one. Because you're like, oh, it's a
yeah,
Gohan
I
versus
can't
Cell
really.
fight and also Lord Slug. But his
Really, they
kit's
should have
stupid.
replaced the Bojack release with Lord Slug and then put Bojack on this banner
That would
because
make
then
more sense.
it would make the thematic more sense. But the way he is right now, it just feels like it's like let's just give another buff for regeneration. They could use
Yeah,
another.
which God, they really didn't need. But yeah,
No,
I'm
they
gonna say
don't.
four
By
out of
the
five
way,
too. This is a well-built unit. He's got pretty entertaining art, good effects, and he buffs a team that was already one of the best teams in the game.
yeah. And if you can pull Bulma and Demon King Piccolo, who by the way, Demon King Piccolo also regeneration.
Sure is.
So is yeah. So if you want to just don't want to run the Bulma and just want to steal Rising Rushes, but also use regeneration, you can also do that.
Mm-hmm. Damn,
Yeah,
regeneration's really
4 out of
good.
5. Yeah.
Speaking of regeneration, so we've got a 4 out of 5 for Lord Slug. Our next guy is going to be the new Perfect Cell, which for some reason they still
Oof.
will not call Super Perfect Cell, even though that is who he is.
This is something I guess the naming convention. I guess it's no Legends does not have the limit on who you can name, right?
No, there's no. You can run an entire team of Super Saiyan Goku if you wanted to.
Yeah, the only thing that really seems to matter to them is like the Super Saiyan tag and the Super Saiyan 2 tag. You get what I mean? So I guess to them it's like, well, this is just perfect cell. They're not gonna do what Dokkan does, which is call it cell parentheses perfect form or just perfect cell. because that's maybe one of the silliest things that Dokkan does, especially. So they're like, I guess we don't really need to do that for Perfect Cell.
Yeah,
It's
there's no cell
fine.
card good enough to wall the others out.
Yeah, it's already feels weird enough that we're just calling him Perfect Cell as opposed to just Cell,
That's true.
because that's his name. It doesn't
Yeah,
change the fact that uh, first form Cell barely around, second form Cell may as well not exist except for the fact that he was there for a very brief moment in time, and then
for
we have
one
this
fight
Cell.
against Vegeta.
Yeah, and then he got fucking blasted a bunch by Tien, and then he ate 18, and then here we are. And then he does, I guess, blow himself up. Whatever, either way, Perfect Cell. That's the dude.
Yep, sure is. So let's see. Let's get into his
What's he do?
abilities here. His main ability draws an ultimate art card, which is the Solar Kamehameha, and then it applies attribute upgrade minus 80% to enemies cover sustain damage cut. So when an enemy comes in and they like block, like Zamasu or somebody like that, he reduces 80% of their reduction. I don't know if he reduces it only on tanks or if the enemy takes 80% more damage when they tag. I think it's only tanks because it specifically reduces enemies cover sustain damage cut. But still, that's really good. He basically nullifies enemy tanking completely when he uses his main ability for 30 seconds.
Which is insanely good.
Yeah, it sure is. And then his his unique abilities. His first one is -5 to his own blast art's cost, and it cannot be canceled. So one, that can never be debuffed off of him with someone like Super Saiyan God Goku or Bulma. And two, it has no trigger effect and it's permanent. So he just always spends 5 less on blast arts cards than everybody else does, just for existing.
uh, Also, again, this is something. It's a good thing that it's blast art, so that's still insanely good. Like either way you look at it, because I feel like there's yeah. I mean, you also eventually use blast cards, right? Either way, a -5 is a -5.
Yeah, I mean, well, part of the reason you don't use blast cards is they're so expensive.
Yeah, there you go.
You
So
can get
making
3
them,
strikes in the cost of one or of 2 blasts, but with this cut in the cost, it's not really that the differential is not as big. So it makes the blasts way more valuable. And then that's not even
yeah.
it. There's more. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Seals one enemy card slot randomly. So it basically reduces their hand to 3 cards. The sealed card cannot be used for 10 timer counts. And it happens 3 times. So he gets 3 repetitions of that every time he tags in. And when he tags in, he gets 45% to his damage inflicted for 15 seconds. Flat damage, not strike, not blast, both. Just for tagging in for 15 seconds. And he gradually regens his own life for 60 seconds when he tags in.
So that's not even like a flat like increase. He just slowly gets back his health.
Slowly regenerates life. That's all one ability, by the way. That wasn't like a list of all. That was only one of his 2 abilities. His second ability is he has a cover rescue, just like Ultimate Gohan and Instant Transmission Goku. He can nullify one combo when he covers. So Rising Rush, immune. He can just pull you right out of
Nice.
there. Because if there's
So
anything
now you
that
can run a.
regen needed, it was to avoid Rising Rush completely.
Yep. So now you have to always be wary of that.
Mm-hmm. His regular super attack is the Super Kamehameha. Deals major impact damage and 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. So that's just a blanket 20% damage up for him. His green card is 25% to strike damage inflicted for 25 seconds and inflicts enemy with the attribute downgrade plus 20 to strike art's cost for 10 counts. So when the enemy gets hit by this, their strike cards cost, what are they, 40? 40 key to use for 10 seconds. Then we
That's
have,
insane.
yes, it's really insane. And then his ultimate is the Solar Kamehameha. Deals massive damage, 25% to damage inflicted for 15 seconds upon activation, and it has a 20% chance to inflict faint.
So just it's never going away now. Faint is just here to
Faint
stay.
is they're gonna put it on every top tier to make them even more top tier. Because units that are this good don't need Faint, but they're gonna get it anyway. And his Z
At least it's
ability.
the ultimate.
Go
At
ahead.
least it's the ultimate special, not the super Kamehameha.
Yeah, thank God for small favors. And his Z ability is 33% to both Android and Regeneration Strike Attack at 5 stars. Oh, sorry, I'm still just looking at this in confusion. Why is he this good?
Because he's perfect.
Yeah, clearly he's perfect. I can't actually understand why they would make one character with this many tools. He can do everything. He gets buffs just for living his life. Like he's not even doing anything to earn these buffs. He's not like triggering some difficult ability. He just is. He just does whatever the fuck he wants all the time, and he gets rewarded for it. But literally, his only downside is that his art is kind of okayish. I don't like it that much. That's the only thing about him that I'm like, about.
Yeah, I feel like they made him this good specifically because the Gohan is ticket locked.
Oh yeah. So it's like a, a consolation is that Cell is ridiculous.
Yeah, so like you didn't get the Gohan, but also you get the guy Gohan kills, and they've also specifically made him extremely strong.
And you know what else? He's yellow. He is
What's up?
counter color to Broly.
That's true. He is counter to Broly, which is always good.
Yeah, so literally he's this good. This is like the character I thought Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta was going to be. Just this level of absolute disregard for the like the opponent's team entirely. Uh, I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 5. I don't even like Cell as a character, but like this kit is ridiculously good.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to deny just how good he is, and also that he is on regen. And also, he takes care of one of the bigger problems of regen, which is Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, that can kind of be offset by the fact that there's now suddenly a card that benefits from the fact that you've lost your Super Saiyan 3 Goku. But he's just insane, especially when you consider how strong purple is in the game right now.
Yeah, he is completely ridiculous. I hate Cell. I would happily downplay him if I thought it was even remotely reasonable. I can't. He's one of the best characters in the game.
Yeah, definitely. So that's a that's kind of a 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
There's like no denying it.
yeah. You can't even fight it. Even if you want to, he's a 5 out of 5. There's nothing you can do about it. He's perfect. Perfect form.
Yeah, perfect. Only thing downside is the art, but the art is not enough to weigh him down.
Yeah, I will say that both the cells, both the like the perfect form cells, not that great, like art wise.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there's not, I guess, much they can do with Cell.
Yeah, they're both just doing some Kamehameha like stance, and it's just and Cell's kind of ugly, so it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the way Cell looks, but anyway, 5 out of 5,
The
begrudging
best,
5 out of 5.
a grudging 5 out of 5. I think the best Cell art is still the Dokkan Intelligence Cell TUR, which is using the head point.
Yeah, the head point is
That
the best Cell pose in anything, really.
Yeah, so that's already been made. There's like nothing else they could do.
That's true. All right, so next
Speaking of,
is
yeah,
the guy that you mentioned earlier who benefits from watching Goku die. Is the ticket exclusive Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Youth. It's not Kid Gohan or Teen Gohan anymore. It's Youth Gohan.
interesting. I
Yeah,
mean, more accurate.
correct. And he is so yeah, he's ticket locked. He's red, which is a big deal because one, that's the counter color to the cell that we just spent a few minutes sucking off. And he is
Yes.
a color that Hybrid Saiyans were desperate to have. They were crying for a red, and now here he is. and that's already good stuff. We haven't even talked about his kit yet. So he
Mm.
his kit almost reminds me of Shonen Ore. That's how ridiculous this is about to get.
Yeah, I was about to say, in terms of pure strong Gohan-ness, he's at that point of the Ore Collection Super Saiyan 2 Gohan,
Yeah,
which
so
was so insanely broken at release.
his main ability is he draws the Father Son Kamehameha, he restores his own health by 30%, he restores his ki by 50%, and he nullifies unfavorable element factors for 20 seconds if there's a defeated party member. So if you use that and one of your allies is dead, he becomes immune to type disadvantage. Oh my god, okay. So, unique abilities are 1. The following effects occur per defeated battle member: plus 30% to damage inflicted, plus 20% to own ki recovery, and plus 100% to his ultimate attack damage if Goku is a defeated character. So, Father Son Kamehameha does double damage if you have a dead Goku on your team. Double.
Yeah, and that's fucking insane.
Mm-hmm. It's really ridiculous. And it's completely independent of what your opponent has. As long as your Goku is dead, he gets a buff. And there's really nobody I mean, you have the old Broly that nobody uses, and then you have Chi-Chi. And those are the only two characters that can force you to switch. So in 99% of matches, if you just want to throw Goku to the wolves, you can. And what they can't do
Yeah.
anything about it. They got to kill him. They have to fight.
He basically turns the character Goku into a makeshift future Gohan, but only for him.
Yeah, he turns the death of Goku into a nuke that can probably kill a character. And that's
Like
only
if
one
you
main
survive
ability.
through this.
So his other main ability is he has -5 to his own blast arts cost. It's the exact same thing Cell has. Cannot be debuffed, cannot be removed or whatever. It's just a permanent -5 to his blast cost. He reduces the damage received from regeneration tag units by 20%. Also cannot be canceled. So they can't dispel that. Regen units are always going to do 20% less damage to him. Always. He gets 15% more damage for 15 seconds every time he uses a Blast Arts card. So every Blast Arts that he uses buffs all of his following damage by 15%. He reduces damage received by 40% until a combo ends when cover changing. So he is a tank. He's a cover tank. And when he cover tanks, he gets plus 25% to blast damage inflicted for 20 seconds. I can't even. Okay. His super attack deals major damage and inflicts enemy with the attribute downgrade -1 to the card draw speed for 20 seconds. So it makes them draw cards slower.
So mean. Maybe one of the meanest things you can do to a person.
Absolutely, it is. Then you've got his green card, which cancels all of his attribute downgrades, so all debuffs on him go away. And then the following effects occur to Gohan based on his own remaining health. If he has 50% or more health, he does 20% to blast damage inflicted for 20 seconds. If his health is below 50%, he does 35% to blast damage inflicted for 20 seconds. Just for using his green. His ultimate attack, which is the Father Son Kamehameha, deals massive impact damage and does 25% blanket increase to all damage inflicted for 20 timer counts upon activation. And it has blast armor when used. So you can literally, if you see an enemy wind up for a blast attack, you can just counter with Father Son Kamehameha and tear right through that shit.
Hmm. The good thing is that it is at least a main ability, so it has blast armor, but you have to be pretty fucking dumb to put out your blasts. So
Yeah, when you know
if you
that he's
get
got the card.
yeah, so if you get hit by that after using your own goddamn art card, or you're trying to bait something, like I can understand if it's a bait, but blast armor,
Yep.
good.
And then at
Fucking,
5
that's why I hate
stars, actually no, this is not at 5 stars because he actually his Z ability
gets it at
change is at
3.
3 stars because he's a ticket locked unit and they have a soul. At 3
Yeah,
stars,
was
which is when
Beerus
he
like
gets
this, by the way?
hmm?
Was Beerus like this?
No, Beerus is 5-star locked.
No. Those assholes.
Beerus also is a 10% lower chance to pull from the tickets than Gohan is. Gohan's 20. Beerus has been
They
10.
know. They know who is the right person to catch in
Clearly.
that scenario.
So at 3 stars, his Z ability becomes 26% to Hybrid Saiyan and Sun Family Blast Attack. So Hybrid Saiyan really needed the help. Sun Family probably didn't need the help, but they're happy to get it
No,
because they didn't
Sun
really have a
Family
good red
absolutely
either.
did not need any help.
Yeah, I would agree that they really didn't need any help, but they'll take the red because their best red before this was the Super Saiyan 3 Goku that didn't buff anybody.
True. So already replaced.
Mm-hmm. So that is Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. What do you think?
I love the fact that they have what feels like to me. Okay, let me put it this way, because again, this is we're in our daily like compare it to Dokkan. I already did that with Cell, but I'm going to say right now, it's one thing to give Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, make a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, makes sense. It's a deep Dragon Ball Z game. They're going to make something based off of this specific moment. That's just the way it's going to be. um to give him a walk animation when it's not 100% needed or necessary, that's putting a knife in the gut.
Yeah, that feels like a
Twisting,
huge intentional dick kick to Dokkan.
yeah. And then the twist is that they give a legendary when you win with it.
Yeah, it literally says the word legendary.
That's the part where it feels like okay. And some people have said that the walk animation isn't the greatest. It didn't need to be the greatest to be better than the fucking Dokkan one.
Yeah, it's not a
As
still image bobbing up and down, so literally it's better than all of it.
Yeah, an effort was given, and they did take into the account that he's fucking flying on air. That is maybe the other ridiculous thing.
Yeah, that he's
Is
walking
that
through the air.
yeah, which is hilarious. Which some people have pointed out, he starts in the air, but then he walks on the ground. Doesn't matter either way. He's in the fucking air, walking. So it really feels like Gohan's just showing off at that point as he walks forward slightly.
Yeah,
Um,
his art pretty good, I think. Um,
yeah, it has maybe one of the greatest ghost Gokus in the entire game. He's literally like fully dressed in like blue. You have to see the sheen. Maybe I'll just link it to you so I
oh,
can show you
yeah, I'm
exactly.
actually looking at the art right now. Yeah, you're talking about the one where he's screaming, right?
Yeah, it's just above the one where he's screaming,
Yeah, he
and it
looks
looks
like
like
an
he looks like
actual like Ghostbusters ghost.
yeah, he looks like he's ready to show up at the end of Return of the Jedi and like smile at Anakin for a
He
good job he's
does look
done.
like a Force ghost.
Goku, his most Force Ghost looking. So I think that's pretty good. And then also, they didn't need to do this either, but I also feel like this is a really nice little tidbit. I like when they did it in the Dokkan art. I like it when they do it here. He just has a random ass Vegeta show up.
Yeah, yeah. In his art, there's just a little. And it's funny because the Vegeta's really small compared to everything else,
Yeah.
but he's just there having blasted Cell in the back. That's what you're supposed to see. It's pretty funny.
Yep. And I think they actually, I don't think that's an art for existing Vegeta. So they made that Vegeta art specifically for when you were tapping his little art thingy.
They did. Yeah, it's not any Vegeta card.
Yeah. And really, the only bad thing about him is the fact that he is ticket locked. Because
Yeah.
if this guy, because it's really the only shitty thing I can say about him. He's basically, he is the again. There's in terms of they love doing this in terms of pure OPness when they're released. The LR Super Saiyan to Gohan completely changed everything in Dokkan. It gave people a belief that nukers could still exist, which turned out it didn't actually turn out to be true. Then you have the Ore Collection Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, who completely dominated the entire meta for the entire time he was up and until the death of that game, which is still ongoing. And now we have this one who also feels like it feels like they built up regeneration and then specifically unleashed him. And then they
Just
made
to
the
say
one
fuck you to regenerations.
and then they made the one regeneration that is his weakness the hardest one to get because it's Evil Boo.
Oh, that's true. Well, Slug also.
Yeah, Slug also, which is why probably I feel like Evil Boo is just easier to kill quickly, if you know what I mean, because of the way he can just double ultimate. Lord Slug is a slower, like, if you see this Gohan, my first instinct is that I need to kill this fucker right now before anything else happens.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah,
the
I can see
level
that.
of like Like, fuck it, he's almost dead. He doesn't, but I need to do something, because if he is allowed to live, then there's at no point in the game that you should feel safe at all. He
Yeah,
just makes the entire situation unsafe for you. Even with a blue card, I would say you need to play smart, because he's always one ultimate attack card away from just completely fucking destroying you.
yeah, just ruining your fucking day.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about
And
Gohan?
yeah, I really, again, the only thing that feels bad about him is being ticket locked.
Yep, easy 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, it's an easy 5. I will say it is funny how it feels like Legends it's easier to get a 5 in the big boy scale, but that's because they make almost every unit good.
Yeah, Legends doesn't really release duds very often.
No, and
I
even
can't
when
even
they
think of
do,
the
it's
last
like
unit that they've released that has just been like, wow, this guy sucks.
Beerus.
Well, yeah, probably
That's
Beerus. Or maybe
but he's
Chilled.
tick.
Chilled doesn't suck, but he's not great, and he was kind of recentish.
Yeah, and even chilled is used in evil, but that's maybe because there's not a lot of other choices on that part.
Yeah, I would say Beerus is definitely the worst character in recent memory as far as like has come out kind of recently. Like he came out in the era of double buffs and he still sucks. A lot of the shitty units were
Mm,
really early and they didn't have stuff like double buffs yet. Like how Pan got when she got her
yeah.
changes, they gave her a double buff. Uh
Oh yeah, that's true.
yeah.
So
Beerus has one and he still sucks.
insane.
They put an equip
So
in the game that is busted just to make him better and he still sucks.
yeah, and again, the only one thing again, no, it's just tickets. Because every time I think of like, well, there's you could always use Chi Chi, but Chi Chi doesn't have type advantage, so it's a literally like a double fuck you. Whoever gets the first hit in is the one who's gonna succeed in their mission and killing the other character.
Yep, pretty much.
So it's tough. This is one of those units where I'm like, similar to it's like a different level of fear. Like I feel like I can beat this Gohan. The only problem is that he can also beat me just as quickly as I can beat him.
Yeah, like Gohan is he definitely feels killable. Like, there's nothing on his kit that
Yeah,
makes me
he
think
does.
like he's not Zamasu. But
No, he's not. But
the
it's
thought process is he's a tank unit so he can get tagged into stuff without exploding.
mhm.
And if you don't kill him, if you run out of cards or you run out of key, he's going to kill you.
Yeah. There's just like no safe place for you. And then also when you lose to him, you're gonna get the legendary finish, which is already more in.
It's
It's
gonna
more
it's gonna
insult.
feel even worse. Back to the morale.
Yep.
So now let's
So
a new segment for Legends Roadwork.
oh okay.
Are either of them as good as Broly?
Are you talking specifically about all three of our dudes?
Well, we know Slug is not, but specifically Cell and Gohan.
Okay, fair enough. I will say, I think, this is my personal thought process. I think Cell 100% is the Gohan. I need to see in action, because I think the only thing that I need to like, yeah, I need to see. It's gonna be tough, just because I think Broly is in the similar thing of like he's just so stupid by himself, and Cell is also extremely stupid by himself. Gohan at least doesn't require, but I said it helps if you have a Goku on the team to die for you.
Right.
So there's certain like specific matchups the way it goes that it can reach the he's much more of a team player than the other two, where Cell and Broly Cell feels cut from the same cloth of Broly of what if I just did this shit myself.
Yeah, what if I just completely won this whole match? Just get out of my way.
Yes. So to me, I would say Cell is Gohan. I need more time to think. I need more time to think
Okay.
it out. What do you feel? You're the more Legends expert than me. What's your current feeling?
I it's hard because Broly's kit as the active character is pretty dumb. But
Hmm.
Cell's kit as a bench character switching into the active character might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I
Hmm.
think there's a reasonable argument that Cell is the best character in the game.
Yeah, it's because I think it is literally the fact that he can just do so much for doing nothing.
Yeah, he gets all of those buffs for tagging in, and he gets one free tag because he has the cover change rescue. Now, unlike Ultimate Gohan and Instant Transmission Goku, he can't restock it. So while they can do it twice, he can only do it once. But who gives it? How do you need more than one time when tagging in gets you a 45% flat damage buff?
Yeah, and you're on one of the most strongest teams in the game.
Yeah, I
So
just
you
don't. I mean, Broly has the Universal Blast Armor on all of his forward traveling moves, which is really good. But man, I really think Cell's the best character in the game right now.
hmm.
And then I think Gohan and Broly are kind of tied in that second spot because Broly is actually I don't know. Gohan might be better too. I need to see how much the father son
That's a,
Kamehameha does consistently.
let's say for this specific segment, for is it better than Broly, we are doing this on a 1v1 situation. What Broly really excels at, which is by himself with nothing else. And unfortunately, Cell would always win because he's physical. So maybe that's not the best way of going
Right.
it.
Yeah, I think that okay, so here it is. I think that Cell is the best character in the game, and I think that Gohan, if his damage is as stupid as it sounds, because I haven't gotten a chance to see how much something like that father son Kamehameha is doing to a full health character.
Mhm.
If it's as stupid as it sounds, I think he's also better than Broly. But if not, I think that Broly just has a little bit more utility. You know what? No. You know what? Fuck it. I'm committing to it. Number one is Cell. Number two is Gohan. Number three is Broly. I'm committing.
Okay. I think that's a fair commitment. You got to go with it. And I'm still in the mind of Cell number 1, Broly 2, and Gohan needs more research because I don't have him. So I need to fight him now.
You gotta get punched by him a lot and see what's up. I respect that.
Yeah, I got to be put through the ringer, so to speak.
All right,
And
so
then I'll truly know.
yeah, let's move on to the good old questions segment. We have some interesting ones today. One thing I like about the Legends Roadwork questions is I'll always get at least one question where someone says, "I was waiting specifically for this because I want to ask you about this thing." So that's fun.
There you
But
go.
we're gonna
No one
go in
says
order,
it for
so we're gonna
me.
get some of the dumb ones first. No, there's no dumb questions, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're just questions.
yeah. So
So just to show the further differences is that you like to go with the quick easy ones first, as opposed to me that likes to get the hard stuff out of the way and then slowly
I
devolve
just
into.
literally do them in order from the first comment that shows on my screen down.
All right, fair enough. That's also what I do. It just so happens that the first comment is usually the one that the most thought put into it.
So the first one is from Josh at Ignant, and he says, "What is your favorite art in the game, and why is it Super Saiyan God Vegeta?"
I think I believe the answer. The fact remains unchanged. EX Khalifa till the day until the cows come home.
I can't argue that. That's very very valid reasoning. I think
It's
mine
so big.
is. Oh man,
Go ahead.
I think mine is Super Saiyan God Goku still. It's just so clean.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like we have to do occasional because they always update and put new art there for you to go like, oh, this is extremely good.
Uh,
So it's good to have a like, okay, this is the current feeling.
yeah, once a month art update.
Yeah. Still waiting for something to reach EX Khalifa status. Will update when it's found.
All right, so the next one is from Matt at Master M, and he says, "What's your favorite Devil Breaker in Devil May Cry 5?" I don't know if you have seen any or can comment at all on this question, or if it's more or less just for me.
I don't know if this counts. But at one point I saw you turn your motorcycle into a chainsaw and ride it.
That
So
is
I'm gonna
not
go
a
with
Devil
that.
Breaker. The Devil Breakers are Nero's robot arms.
So I'm gonna go with the motorcycle. That's my answer.
That's fair. So my actual answer is the one called Rawhide because it's like a big whip that you can do a whole lot of fancy stuff with. But
It's named
the
after the.
answer in my heart is also Dante's motorcycle.
It's fair enough. I like. Did they name the arm after the song Rawhide?
I have no idea. I just know its name is Rawhide.
You know the. Have you ever seen Blues Brothers?
Not in many years.
Do you remember? Okay, so there's a scene in Blues Brothers where they go into a country bar and they're blues singers. So they're like, "What do we do?" It's like we don't know any songs that will help them. So they decide to. The way that they win over the country folk people is that they sing the theme song to Rawhide. And so it's like, "Giddy up, bout it up, Rawhide." So I assume
We're
that's
gonna
what
say
it's named
yes. We're
after.
gonna say yes. That's where it came from.
All right,
All right, the next one
everyone
is
should go out there
from
for it.
oh man, Koki, Kouki, Cookie.
I also have trouble saying his name. I just say
I'm
Cookie.
gonna
I
say
think at
Cookie.
certain point.
And he says, I know that you like when the unit buffs 2 tags at 5 stars instead of buffing 2 stats at 5 stars. But what's your opinion on teams that are almost exclusively having support after getting to 5 stars, like the Sun family? Instead of playing at a team at a weaker level, you can't play it at all without those stars.
Hmm. I think the one that hits me most with this one is the fact that Mai doesn't get her female warriors buff until she hits 5.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it doesn't put it. But the thing is that if the unit is good on its face value, and this is only on units that are specifically good, the team doesn't suffer that much. If there's enough units that buff the team at the beginning level, then you can help. You can kind of like mitigate the fact of like, okay, so this unit's very good. It's not as powerful as it can be, but the unit is still good enough that I want to play with it and stuff like that. The problem that you probably run into is like if you actually are just running a team that where all the buff only activates at 5, which at that point you probably want to play the Legends Battle Royale mode that lets you just automatically play them at 5 stars.
Yeah, that sort of is the Sun family. I think that's really the only team where this is a prevalent issue is the Sun family.
Yeah, Universe 6 is going to run into it when they decide to release Hit because Kaba, Khalifa, and Kale all get it at 5.
Okay, yeah, they will too then. Right now, I know that Ultimate Gohan, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, Kaioken, and Pan, all of them don't get Sun Family until 5. Well, Super Saiyan 2 gets it at 3, but all of them don't get Sun Family until you at least get dupes into them. But Sun Family is not a team
Hmm.
where, like, oh my god, this team is so obviously the best team in the game, and it sucks that it's whale only or whatever. I don't really think it's a big deal as long as the team isn't some sort of busted, like unstoppable bullshit team. Like if Broly's best team was only achievable if the whole team was 5 stars, I would think that was pretty bullshit. But it's not, and I don't think that it's that big of a deal, really.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's negligible because usually the units with those buffs are at least good enough by themselves.
Right,
It only really sucks if you're trying to get the most out of the unit.
right.
Which is, I really think that it's unfortunate that it's only in Legends Battle Royale because I really do like the fact that it just everyone is like, okay, everyone's at equal footing, and then it's like, why isn't this? Why isn't this always like this? I don't understand.
Yeah, well, because then you'd never pull dupes if it was always like that.
Ah, damn it. I'm so close to finding the perfect equilibrium of I don't give a fuck about pulling dupes.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. The next one is
Yeah.
from Rose X at Rose XOYC, and he says, "Who is your favorite unit in Legends?"
Hmm. It's either a switch between Mai and Bulma. Mai is maybe the one unit where I'm the best at, and it's unfortunate that she's not an attack based unit. Because if she was, I would possibly be one of the greatest PvP players out there, but she's not. So I end up being bad with units that are supposed to be attack based units and getting them killed early. And then all I have left is Mai at the end. And Bulma, I just love her kit because it's like it's like insanely good, and to the point where it's like I don't understand why you made this so good. If her switch to an ally wasn't random, she would be busted.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah. So it's between those two. I'll give it to Mai on this one because she was there at the start.
That's fair. That's fair.
She's been with me through the
Respect the
thick and thin.
loyalty.
Exactly. What are you feeling?
I think mine is Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku. The
The
man's just
intelligent one?
good. Yeah, the purple one.
He is just really good.
He is just solid and good, and you can't say shit about it. He's just good.
Yeah. And even now with Perfect Cell, it's like, no, well, you're still do fine. Just switch him out. Don't be
Yeah,
stupid.
just don't walk into Perfect Cell and you'll be okay because he still beats the rest of the team.
Exactly. It's all negligible if you can figure out how to make it work.
Right. All right, let's see. The next question is from Zorark Master 26. That is also his at. Do you wish
Nice.
upgrading equipment was less random? Do you think a system where using more souls and Zenny to have a higher chance at getting S and Z equipment would benefit the game, or do you think that upgrading the equipment is fine as is?
Um, since this is so I have a weird feeling on this only because I literally escaped Ore Collection's shitty equipment. Thankfully, Ore Collection died before I lost my mind.
Ah, comas.
Yeah, comas. After dealing with comas for my entirety of my life, I can accept the fact that equips are kind of like slightly random, but at least it's not. At least when I go to pay for it, it doesn't fail on me.
Yeah,
It could
God,
be.
that sucked.
Yeah, it did. God, don't. I please don't disrespect the dead. But it was a terrible system. I think the only thing I find annoying about equips is that there's such limited space. So eventually it gets to the point where I'm like, well, I guess I'll sell the ones that I even have. Like, I want more space for them in there. It doesn't feel like I have enough at any given point.
Yeah, it especially sucks when you want to play multiple like teams. Like I have 6 teams I want to run, but I have to have equipment for
Yeah.
all of them, and I have no room. But
Yeah,
anyway,
no room
I
for that. So it's
equipment
like, well,
upgrading, I, I I think it's fine enough. Yeah, it sucks, and yeah, it's a bit of a grind, but I can't think of a way to make it better that wouldn't be annoying for people.
I only can think about how to make it worse, which is making it like Coma, and you never want to be Coma.
Every time you spend souls and zenny, sometimes it fails.
Yeah, and then there's also just a 1% chance that you'll actually get the stat you want. And then also, when you go into the PvP arena, you know which ones have the good coma because they automatically win because there's nothing you can do.
Pretty much, pretty much.
It could be worse. I agree it could be better, but it could also be worse. They need to figure out how to make it better. I'm not here to do their job for them.
Yeah, that's fair. Figure it out.
Rhyme is here. If someone figure it out, give it to Rhyme, and then Rhyme will tell them, and then we'll
Everybody
we'll
at
get the
Dino and
solution.
ask why he is not fixing it.
Yeah, someone at Dino and say, "How come you're not fixing Legends?" Don't tell him it was us, because
For
then
God's sake, don't tell him it was us.
don't tell him it was us. Use a covert name. Tell him it was Wonky and Zeno,
Yeah,
and
perfect.
it will be perfect.
All right, the next one is from Rose Kami at Def Not a Weeaboo. And he
Damn.
says Rose and Vegito's files are in the game already. When do you think we could see a potential release? 1 year. I think we're getting Vegito at the 1 year.
Yeah, can't wait to pull on them for some tickets. It's gonna be great.
Vegito anniversary unit with Rose locked behind tickets.
Yes. I'm gonna say right now, bold stance, both are gonna be locked by tickets.
Oh my God.
So
Easy
the only
now.
unit, see, now that's where I'm going because there's two units there. Both will be locked by tickets, and then the unit that will be on display for that one will be, I don't fucking know what who from the future saga has not been turned into a unit yet. Bulma, who tried to seduce Samasu, will be the sparking for that banner.
the
She'll deal.
the Gawasu that Black kills. He'll be on it.
Yeah, Bulma will have a 100% chance to do Faint, but only on regen characters, and it's just gonna be her. Like, and then you'll switch out, and then they'll just be kind of looking at her, going like, maybe we could have a life together. That's possible.
I like
And
that.
there you go.
So the next one is asking how we rate Shallot on the big boy scale. We are going to withhold that because we're going to wait until we actually do an episode with Shallot on the big boy scale.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I could say that he's a very stupid boy from where I'm at
not a
at the
genius,
story.
this guy.
No, he would not have the link skill, the genius, if he was in
Nope, no
Dokkan.
brainiacs for sure.
No brainiacs for sure. But yeah, well, I'll gladly save comment for whenever Zen decides to throw up Shallot.
So the next one is from Mark 6000 at Markleo 6000. He says, Gohan is so busted. Holy fuck, why? Assuming everything is 5 stars, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan can be 3. Do you think the most optimal team in the game is Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, Ultimate Gohan, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Kaioken, Pan, and Future Gohan? So that's oh, and he says, I will be disappointed if Gohan somehow doesn't break the big boy scale. He's a 7 out of 5. So when it comes to stuff breaking the Legends big boy scale, I don't really like to do that too much unless it's like big time stuff because Legends releases top tier shit all the time. And so we'll eventually
Mm-hmm.
have a big boy scale where if someone doesn't get an 8 out of 10, it feels like or an 8 out of 5, it feels like we're doing them a disservice.
That's fair. I'll also say that the breaking of the big boy scale over in Dokkan Land is because it's run by me, who is perfectly okay with the idea of breaking the scale when the unit in question is ready to. It's good. We've also been around longer, I feel. So Legends is still in a place where the scale is set differently because the game is literally still growing in front of us. It's
Right.
different from Dokkan where the units being put on a scale are being put on a scale in which the game itself is already busted. So you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Is
I'm
that the
not
best team in
comfortable
the
enough in
game
Legends
though?
to
I, I
say.
I don't know if that's the best team in the game. Too early to tell. I think Regen might be the best team in the game.
Yeah, it's really hard to like. It's funny because I can say Gohan definitely one of the strongest, but and even though he literally directly counters Cell, there's just too much to his team. Like even inside of Regen, you have the silent killer that is Evil Boo. And there's if you do not put any respect on Evil Boo's name, then you are in for a bad time.
Yeah, for sure.
As someone said, as we were talking, as someone was talking in one of the comments, and I was just like reading it because I didn't want to get involved, because it's one of those type of talks. Someone was saying like, "Oh yeah, Eva Boo is really good," and then someone was like, What would Eva Boo even go on regen? What does he unlock regen at what, like 5?" And then the person said he unlocks it at 0, and the
Hmm.
person just said LMFAO, and then left some kind of person's head on a bike. And I was like, I'm gonna take that as, why did they make Evil Boo this way?
Yeah, Evil Boo's very good, and
Yeah,
he's an EX. It's
regen
just
is just
great.
too. Yeah. And also, I feel Regen has a lot of shiny new dudes in it, and some of Gohan's team members are still a little bit like on the older side, so it's hard.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I
It's a
think
tough call.
I think Regen is the best team right now, but that could change when I get some more experience with Gohan. We will
Yeah,
see.
it does help that Gohan's team specifically has a lot of anti-regen in it.
Yeah, it does. Gohan himself and Goku. And
Yeah,
then when that
and then
Goku dies, you just swap back to Gohan and you nuke the shit out of somebody.
if you're using future Gohan, he dies, and then Gohan just gets stronger because he saw himself die.
No, my
It's a
future self.
never-ending death cycle. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
He
see.
is extremely strong, but
Yes,
in
for
terms
sure.
of busting the big boy scale, you'll know when something busts the big boy scale.
Yeah, it'll be the next Chi Chi they release.
Exactly.
or
Anorelli.
EX Red Khalifa.
Yeah, when they release Sparking EX Khalifa, the
Uh,
art is literally too big for the screen.
Zoomed in way too much.
Cannot hold it. You have to literally scroll up and down.
So the next one is from Warble at Warble Garble, and he says, "Can they
Ooh.
please nerf Gogeta soon because he's too broken?" You can't nerf
Uh,
Gogeta; he'll just delete the game.
yeah, as Gogeta once said, "I don't die, I just multiply." So there's no stopping him.
Now I'm picturing a bunch of Gogetas going on top of the eyes of Thousand Eyes Restrict and blocking them off, and then exploding.
Yeah, he is basically Gogeta is the Jiggy Boggy Doom or whatever the fuck that fucking machine thing is called.
Uh, Jigen Bakudan?
Jigen Bakudan, yeah, exactly. And so he gets he just blows up Thousand Eyes Restrict without even doing
I was
anything.
thinking Karibo, but yeah, that too.
Either way, Gogeta is very strong.
Yes.
Don't let other people tell you he isn't.
Yeah,
Gogeta is
don't
strong and
whenever someone
real.
tells you that Gogeta is the best character of the game, don't question it, just agree.
Yeah, and say I'm impressed by your game knowledge.
I'm glad you know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
And then the last one is from King Julius at I Love Pie 31. He says, "What do you think of the story of Devil May Cry 5 in comparison to Kingdom Hearts 3? I don't really want to talk stories for a game that is not in the show because I don't want someone watching this to get Kingdom Hearts 3 or Devil May Cry 5 ruined for them. But I will say that I think Devil May Cry 5's is better, and that's about all I will say."
Talk about comparing like apples to like a butterscotch candy.
Yeah.
How different.
Yeah. It's like comparing apples to like a raw steak, uncooked.
Yeah, it's like trying to compare Citizen Kane to Manos the Hands of Fate. Not saying that one is clearly better than the other, just saying they're telling different stories and are different genres and have different levels of like what they were going for.
Yeah, it's yeah. You can't really say like objective quality wise which one is better because man, they are worlds apart. But I enjoyed Devil May Cry
Yeah.
5's more.
I will say that Kingdom Hearts 3 could have really used more ass in it because that's what Devil May Cry 5 has for
Yes, it
sure.
could have used more ass, and it really could have used a motorcycle keyblade.
Oh, now see that would be awesome if if he had a keyblade that also was a motorcycle.
Uh huh. Take notes, Square.
Yeah, Nomura's playing Devil May Cry 5 right now and saying this is good. This is all good stuff.
This is all going in Kingdom Hearts 4.
This is all going in Kingdom Hearts 4. I can't wait for the master of the motorcycle keyblade.
All right, well, that's our last question. So I guess thank you everybody for viewing. We appreciate all the
Yeah,
questions.
thanks.
Yeah.
Our
And
road
I
work
hope you got
continues. Nothing
Gohan
is
off of
stopping
your
you.
ticket.
Yeah, good luck. I didn't get one yet.
I got
Yet.
two, and I'm still like in shock. So I'm in disbelief that it happened.
Is it because the last time you went for a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, it almost made you quit Ore Collection again?
Well, it's actually because last time I went for a ticket unit in Legends, I
Oh,
spent like 40,000 crystals, and I got two copies of Beerus.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's also
But
bad.
also that with Gohan and Ore Collection 2, that shit sucked.
That shit sucked because I was like, I can't believe I finally got Zen into this game, and then the game is trying its hardest to kill him.
It really, I was loving it, but it really went out of its way to make my life worse for a little while there.
It really did. At least you got Josuke pretty easy on
Oh
that.
man, God, I miss Ore. Oh, I forgot how good
Okay,
Josuke was.
I'm gonna spend the last bit of Roadwork talking about the fact that Ore Collection is releasing 5 more stages
All right, you have
into the
exactly
tower.
1 minute and 15 seconds. Go.
Okay, so for some reason, Ore Collection is releasing 5 more stages of the tower into the game. I don't know why. Nobody is playing except for 10 people. But for some reason, they're going like, okay, let's do it. It's going to be released soon, and I really do think that that means that Jump Tyson is close to being done because this is going to be the last shove to go like, get all your orbs now before the game is done. And god damn it, just release the new fucking game because I'm getting really sad seeing all the Ore Collection news. I
Yeah,
just
I'm
want a
not
new
even that
game.
excited for Jump Taisa or whatever the hell it's called.
I'm just excited for the fact that there's going to be a jump game, and I don't want to. That's going to be starting from fresh. That's what I want.
I just miss the aesthetic of ore so much. It was so good looking.
It
And it
was.
just seems like they
And
had
that's going
no
to
idea
be
what the fuck they were doing.
no, clearly. And I also don't have any faith in the next game, but I'm going to have a lot of tickets. So,
Yeah, can't be but so bad.
exactly. All right. You can now end the show. I got what I need to say.
All right.
That was my the new section called the Dead Gotcha Corner.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We hope you got some good information. We hope you're liking the Legends Big Boy scale, where everyone is a 5 out of 5. And we
Or
hope you got
4.
Gohan out of your tickets, because a lot of people in my Twitter mentions today have been very angry that they did not get Gohan in their tickets. So I wish you
That's
guys
fair.
better luck going forward.
Good luck, everyone,
Bye.
and good night.